Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning in the middle of the evening, whatever it is. Hi, guys. Hope you're well. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Father's Day. Scribbles, how are you, my friend?
Who am I? Why am I here?
You're Scribbles, and you're here because I sent you an invite.
Oh, okay. Happy Father's Day, Monkey, because you are a father and a grandfather.
I am indeed. Thank you so much.
I am neither of those things. I am old and alone.
I am sorry about missing last night's show, dude. Holy crap.
It's all right. It happens, you know. Everybody's got to take a day off once in a while. It's all right.
No,
Are you feeling better?
I am sore as fuck, but not like it was yesterday. It's kind of like when you pull a muscle that first day it really hurts, and then the next couple of days it's just sore.
Yeah.
I'm in the just sore. Gotcha. Pumpkin wore me out, man.
Oh man.
Oh my God. She was so cute, Scribbles. Me and Lady Monkey were standing right outside the kitchen, and Pumpkin was right by me as she was all day yesterday.
Aww.
And Lady Monkey leaned over and gave me a kiss.
And
Pumpkin pushed her away.
Oh no, jealousy.
And then she had me pick her up, and she pointed her finger at Lady Monkey like, I was like, oh my God.
You better be careful. She's going to plant a flag in you.
Oh my God. She gave me a kiss. And then after she got her kiss, she went over to Lady Monkey and gave her a hug and a kiss and everything. She's like, I will love you, but you're not allowed to love him.
Right. I am the priority. You can take seconds.
But that's why I don't mind, being in pain for it. But by 7 o'clock, dude, I was just done. I was.
Oof. I got you.
Metal Minister, thank you so much. Happy Father's Day, Monk. Also, this is morning. LOL. It is morning somewhere. That is the beauty of the name of this show, Scribe.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
It is always morning somewhere.
It is Father's Day, and you are a dad, and you make jokes occasionally, so sure.
Indeed. I don't know where that was going. Guys, I am bored. That is true. I did have things to talk about, though. That's just, Scribbles, news happens every day, whether we do shit or not.
What? No. It only happens when we talk about it. Otherwise, there was. I remember when I was a kid, there was a time. It was the weirdest thing ever. I was watching a cartoon in the morning, right? And I had to do something, so I turned off the cartoon, and I came back to my TV in the afternoon. And apparently that was when they reran the morning stuff or whatever. And I turned the TV on exactly where I left off. And as a kid, I thought, the TV just stops when I turn off the TV.
You were just ahead of your time.
I really was, man. If only I had thought of myself. Anyway.
Streaming. That's what that is. This is Kyle. Thank you. Says, hello, chat people, Monkey and Scribbles. Hello, sir. And Princess Unicorn Nipples, thank you so much for the donation with no message there. Appreciate it.
So what's the news, Monkey? This is going to be weird. You're going to talk about the news, and I'll just sit back and listen.
Well, when I say news on this show, that doesn't necessarily mean the news.
Oh.
It means, things that have happened, some of which may or may not be in the news. The first one, we're going to talk about it because this is Father's Day. It's a dumbass tweet I saw. The tweet says, Happy Father's Day to single moms doing double duty. We see you, honor and salute you. And no, this tweet isn't about men who are single parents. This is for the women out there navigating the unknown because we are survivors, heroes to our children, and pillars of our community. Go fuck yourself, lady. Look, if you have a single mom or are a single mom and somebody says Happy Father's Day to you, that's fine and stuff. But no, that's not what this day is. This day is for dads. Mothers have a day. I'm almost certain.
But it's not enough. For all the centuries that the patriarchy has oppressed and suppressed women, Father's Day really should be for women in order to make up for the deficit.
Just women's only, yeah. It should just be Women's Day.
Yeah. I mean, well, now, Monkey, every day should be Women's Day.
Prospero says she tweeted Happy Mother's Day to single dads. No. She was specifically saying she wasn't saying it to single dads. Only to single moms, which, by the way, she also tells us she is one of. So this was a very self-serving post. If you listen to the wording, she actually says, because we are survivors.
Of what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
know. Now,
either.
Look, there are mothers who are single because of horrible things happening. Somebody in our audience, they just lost their husband. They passed away. And then there are single mothers out there who are dirty whores who get high in bathrooms and fuck strangers and end up with herpes. Just being a single mom is not heroic. How you do it is heroic.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, the circumstances by which you end up in that position, it depends. You know, if you escaped an abusive relationship or something and got your kids out of a situation where they were in danger, hey, all credit due. But simply being a single mother says nothing about what kind of mother you are.
Exactly.
Or anything else. It's like so many other things. It is a non-determinative attribute.
Teresa the Kid, thank you so much. Who says Happy Father's Day? Thank you so very much. Thank you. And again, to all the fathers out there, Happy Father's Day, man.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't take care of your kids, fellas, go do it, you lazy shitbags, because there's bad dads out there too, of course. But here's the thing.
Oh, sorry.
They already have a Mother's Day. That's what Mother's Day is for.
I had I attempted to have a emotional moment with my father today over the phone, because we're separated by many miles, and pandemic and all that fun stuff. And so I called him up this morning and said hello, see how he's doing, all that stuff. And I said, and if I get sappy for a minute, I said, I just want to let you know that the older I get, the smarter you become. Because when I was growing up, I got to say I wasn't your biggest fan because of your anger issues and everything else. But as I grew up and I started to come into my own anxiety issues, I saw from your perspective what hell you must have been going through when I was a kid. And as soon as I understood that, I forgave you everything. And ever since then, I just got to say that. And in the middle of this, I hear, "Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What would you like today?" And I'm like, wait, you're in line at the coffee store? And my mother was on the call too. And she's like, "Oh, sorry, honey. We just didn't want to interrupt you." And I was like, oh, okay. This is just like it should be in my family. There you go. It was brilliant. I was like, oh no, pardon me. I'll take a moment to pause in my emotional statement. You guys get your cappuccinos.
Caramon, thank you. Just because I love the meme. Your dad's a liberal. Well, happy Mother's Day to him. Have a great Father's Day, everyone. Nice. Nico, I did see that. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Yeah, I lost my dad a few years ago.
Yeah.
I lost my mom when I was 14, and losing her at that age, I was very angry at that time. I was an angsty teenager. I was fucking 14. And so a lot of my life was like, I don't know if she knew how much I loved her. So every time I saw my dad, I was very caring to him. The last time I saw him was actually on his birthday. We stopped by and we brought him a birthday cake, which he was not expecting. And so I miss him, of course, but at least I know he knows how loved he was. I had a great dad. I was talking with Jack about this last night. I had a very good childhood up until the whole 14 years thing. But, even growing up a poor kid, my mom doted on us. She spoiled us fucking rotten. She took very good care of us. Dad, when he was there, he wasn't out for cigarettes, guys. He was in the Navy, so he was gone a lot. But when he was there, always very caring and attentive to us. So, I had very great parents. So happy Father's Day. I miss you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to switch topics.
By all means, it's your show.
Are you familiar with the Am I an Asshole Reddit? Or Am I the Asshole?
Not directly, but the title alone kind of gives the whole thing away, doesn't it?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, people write in with their horrible stories asking, am I the asshole?
Right.
I think we read a story the other day from this where the chick told her kid that she was she never wanted to have kids. Told her 5-year-old.
Oh, right. That you weren't planned or wanted or anything.
Yeah.
Something like that. We talked about that. Yeah.
Okay, so here's one that came up today, and I'm interested in your opinion on it.
Oh boy.
And then I'll give mine, of course. I, 20-year-old male, went for dinner with my family, parents in their 50s, right before the lockdown. Anyway, there was a fairly attractive waitress, looked to be in her 20s, serving us. Afterwards, she left her phone number for me with a smiley face saying she found me cute.
Ooh.
For several reasons, I was quite irritated by this. First and foremost, my parents teased me about this, which made me feel uncomfortable. Secondly, It seemed very unprofessional and personal. I am a customer and she's the server. She doesn't know me, and this was a very forward thing to do. I'd ideally like to just have had my food without any issues. So after finishing, I asked to speak to the manager and filed a complaint. I checked on Facebook for the page of the restaurant and I saw someone leave a bad review for the place. Lo and behold, it was her. She'd gotten fired. My sister said I was an AH for doing this. I'm guessing asshole. But I think I was well within my rights. Am I the asshole? Pincalo, thank you so much for the on-set chair. So is he the asshole here, Scribbles? He got a girl fired because she gave him her number?
Is this really a mystery that requires thinking?
Apparently, because he had to ask.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, is that if this is a mystery that requires thinking on his part, yes, the answer is yes.
The part that gets me, Scribbles, is the first and foremost reason was that his parents made a little fun of him for it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, stipulating that this is actually a real story,
right? Of course,
it sounds like the ultimate petty Karen type story you could possibly think of, right? But okay, but stipulating it's a real story for a moment. This guy still live with his parents?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say.
Yeah, I'm wondering how important their opinion of him is that he would be so sensitive as to chiding over a cute girl gave you her number unsolicited.
And what the hell kind of things were they saying to him?
The pinnacle of my stereotypical manhood in my life is when I went to a bachelor party and the stripper gave me her number, and not because she was looking for a payday, but because and we dated for a month and it was great. And you got her. You complained about this.
Yeah, went to the manager over a pretty girl giving you her number and saying you're cute.
That is inappropriate. I can't believe an establishment such as Arby's would allow such a thing. Oh, wait.
Well, I'm thinking, I mean, if you're a 10-year-old kid and your parents are like, oh, you got a girlfriend, that can be embarrassing.
Sure.
If you're 20,
yeah,
you'd be like, yeah, Dad, I'm going to go slay this. I'll talk to y'all later.
That's right. I'm going to be like my old man is what you say. You know, you compliment him and everything else and whatever. Come on. And again, believing that this is actually true. Yeah, this guy is the penultimate asshole.
And if you're not interested, you don't even have to say anything. Just leave.
Yeah.
And never call. There you go. Win. I read this and there's a lot of people giving this guy shit saying that he's a misogynist. That I don't get at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how misogyny plays into it. And then there's other people. You guys should be on his side because because somebody gave him his number. You're a puss, man. If that's real, that dude is a giant puss. Caramon, thank you. Parents want him to marry her and leave the nest. That could be it.
Yeah,
get out.
He still lives at home. It's
far too believable in the society we live in today.
And that's the thing. It's like my instincts want to tell me this is some Poe horseshit.
I hope so, but I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. And yet, to steal a phrase from Genesis, or at least Phil Collins, this is the world we live in.
This is the world we live in. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I can just so totally see this right before he goes to his Antifa rally.
I actually have had that happen to me only a couple of times. I mean, it's happened so rarely that I can name off each individual instance where unsolicited a girl is giving me her phone number. Mm-hmm. And I think I can count all 3 times where something like that has happened. And I mark each of those as like a point of pride. In 2 instances, I didn't follow up because of different circumstances. But in the 3rd instance, of course, the stripper at the bachelor party. And that's something, even if you don't follow up, even if for whatever reason, that is a point of, that should be like self-esteem fucking crack right there for any guy.
20.
For
He's 20.
Yeah, anybody that you find attractive, just out of the blue, without any other prompting, gives you their number. Exactly. If you're 20 and you're not involved and you got nothing else going on, and he already said he found her pretty attractive girl. Well, what the hell is stopping you, you moron?
Again, his biggest complaint is that his parents made fun of him.
Yeah. Oh, look at you, such a lover boy. I can't take that. Like, come on.
Yeah. This is just I'm betting he has a lot of participation trophies in his room.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Lion says it's never happened to me. Then again, I don't go anywhere. Well, I remember years and years ago, me and my brother took my dad to breakfast for Father's Day, actually. Mm-hmm. And it's where it was his favorite restaurant. That's what he wanted to do. So we took him out. And the waitress there was incredibly attentive to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ignored the other two at the table and just locking eyes. Yeah. And my dad, after she left, he goes, "Do you know her?" I'm like, "No clue who she is."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just cute, Dad. Chicago Mike, thank you. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Oops, wrong song and group. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Well, supposedly today is the new date of the end of the world, I heard today.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, though. I haven't looked into that part of it. Uncle Ira, thank you. Gentlemen, happy Father's Day. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the donation.
Well, I heard the reason why today's the new end of the world is because the Mayans couldn't math correctly.
I thought when they did it, it actually should have been like a decade ago or some shit like that.
No, like all the digits were like one off, so it wasn't whatever the hell it was, like May 22nd, 2012. It's actually June 21st, 2020 or something.
Is this going to end up being like some Nostradamus shit where it just goes on for decades until they finally just go, all right, yeah, it was wrong?
Well, I mean, how many different predictions of the end of the world have you and I lived through at this point? Depending on which cult or which expert we've heard from by now. I mean, come on.
We are battle hardened survivors, Scribe.
Yeah, no kidding.
Pincalo, thank you. The Mayans forgot to carry a wand.
To carry a wand.
Thank you. I got that, but by the time I did, you were fixing it. I appreciate that.
I know.
Thank you, Pincalo. Go sit in the corner.
I'm terrible at correcting things.
No, I was really curious about what the hell that meant, and then I caught it as I was saying it out loud. So that happens sometimes. That happens. Look, I can't read regular. If you're going to have a typo in there, I'm going to be all kinds of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is. No, but you remember fucking Nostradamus, man. That shit went on for like 2 decades, and you never hear his name anymore.
Yeah, I mean we had sort of a supernatural, unexplained renaissance in the 90s, especially with the X-Files, because then you had all these specials about ancient aliens, and you had this mystery and that, and the like. Oh, here's Nostradamus's predictions and blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, Nostradamus predicted the rise of Hitler, except that the name was Hister. And then this prediction of Nostradamus foretold 9/11. And I think after 9/11, sort of the fun of the unknown kind of disappeared because we're like all wrenched right back into the real world. That kind of sucked.
Chicago Mike, thank you. Y2K. Well, remember, Y2K wasn't an end of the world scenario. They thought,
no.
I mean, there might have been a nuke that accidentally launched, but my favorite thing about Y2K was their whole thing was the computers, they only have the last 2 digits.
Yes.
And when it rolls over, what'll it do? Well, unless you told it only to work at certain dates, and then it'll just keep going on. Yeah,
there were some old systems where the software would do some crazy things when the date rolled over like that. It would go to like 1/1900 or something. And
well, yeah, that's what it would do. It would just go to 00.
Yeah, well, it depends. I mean, if there are calculations based on year, and then it goes back to the beginning of the clock, it could screw up a bunch of things. But there was enough warning that, as far as I understand, and of course there might be exceptions, all of the important institutions and systems and everything that were under threat of that got a patch in before the date came.
It was that Y2K thing was just to scare people to spend money. It really, really was. There was stuff that needed fixed, of course.
Sure.
But even the slightest computer know-how, it's like, that's not that big of a deal.
I do remember, though, that similarly in the place I was working for out of college, they had an old green screen sort of mainframe system that they used to track all their stuff. Mm-hmm. And at one point, the people who programmed the thing originally did not account for anyone's individual account having more than $999,999 in it.
Oh,
And so when it hit 1 million, the entire account effectively deleted.
right. Yeah.
And so when they found this out, like, oh shit. So they had to go through this giant project because it was hard coded in there. This character limit was hard coded. So they went through this crazy project to bring in a new system, and they had to do it really quick because they were having all these accounts that just because, prices go up and inflation and everything. So that was a major meltdown for that single company. So I can imagine what would happen if you had a system out there that was like from the 1980s or something that couldn't go past 2 digits. Yeah.
What else we got going on? There were lots of people shot last night.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't remember them all. I know there was a tweet going around that had several of them and making fun of the fact that all the news cares about is that Trump didn't have enough people at his rally. Was it Minneapolis had 9 people shot, I think it was. New York had, what was it? I want to say Syracuse. I could be wrong on that. But a mass shooting there. There were shootings all over the place last night.
Yep.
Y'all stop shooting each other. Go to the range. It's a lot more fun.
I finally saw finally, I guess I came across the raw recorded video from the shooting at the Chaz.
Mm-hmm.
And you get body cam footage from the cops. You get security cam footage from the shooting itself. You get footage from people who are filming with their phones. And it really is a live, real-time example of suspicion versus reality. So you see the footage from the security cameras of the shooting taking place on the street. Then you see the cops getting out of their cars from the body cams, getting their shields ready because they don't know what they're going into, and starting moving into the area. And then you cut to the people with their cell phone cams who think that the cops are making a move on tearing down the chop or whatever. And so the guy holding the camera is like, oh my God, we got activity from the police here. I don't know what they're doing, but it looks like they're coming in here. They're trying to do this, that, and the other. And you hear all these people like screaming and attacking at the cops. Like, I didn't see any physical strikes or anything, but people were crowding around the cops, yelling at them to get out of their territory. There was one guy that looked like he was having a literal mental breakdown just seeing the cops near him. And the cops are just like, and like over their loudspeaker, like, we are attempting to get to the victims of the shooting. Please evacuate so that we can get to the casualties and help people, that kind of thing. And everybody's just going nuts.
And then you have the Raz video of like, why won't the paramedics come in here? Because you guys won't even. You have an active shooting. The police have to be in there before the paramedics are going to be there. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But why won't you come in? You're letting him die. You're letting him die. No, you guys did that. You guys did that. Fire hoses. Faithless, I've been saying that for a while now. It's time to bring them in. Just one, it would help wash these dirty motherfuckers. I saw Andy Ngo with he's been putting out the mugshots of the Antifa people getting arrested up in Portland. Because they keep getting arrested like every couple of days. And then let go on bail, Scribbles, but the bail is $0. I haven't figured that out. For felony assault of a police officer, I feel like maybe that should be at least $20 bail. But I'm looking at these people, and all of them, they just look dirty. Like, at least wash your hair once in a while. Get some herbal essence. It'll make you a happier person. I've seen the commercials. Thanks for going with me on that.
I don't know what to tell you. I was like, I don't know.
Have you seen the old herbal essence commercials where the women were like orgasming, washing their hair?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, when I didn't have access to the internet, that was like porn.
Yeah, see, that's all they need to do is wash their hair with some herbal essence. They'll have their first orgasm and feel better about themselves.
Even though herbal essence, if you used it by yourself, it totally stripped your hair and dried it out.
I've actually used it before. I didn't have too much of a problem. I guess it'd be which kind you get.
Well, just because your hair is naturally oily.
My hair's not. Mine's nice. It's pretty.
Is it shiny?
Yes.
Do you have a shiny coat?
I do. It's from my cat food. Oh God, what else we have? Not Michael Bolton. God damn it, I did that yesterday.
You did it again.
John Bolton has come out and said he is going to vote for Joseph Biden.
Yeah, I said, wow, a neocon is backing Biden. What does that say about the state of the world?
Well, let me ask you this, Scribbles. David Duke said he was going to vote for Donald Trump.
Right, yeah.
And that meant Donald Trump was responsible for everything David Duke had ever done or said.
Yeah.
Does this make Biden responsible for everything Bolton has done and said?
Well, by the logic you are laying out there, yes. By reason and rationale, no, because guilt by association alone is not evidence of anything.
Indeed. And that's why playing that game is a dangerous game, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I mean, that was one of the first thoughts I had. Well, it's like John Bolton, who was, and I don't know, like history is just forgotten. Back when Bush Jr. was in office, and John Bolton was his, what was he? He was like the secretary of the UN or something. Anyway, whatever he was one of the top villains from the left because of his war hawkishness, because of his attitudes towards the UN and his neocon status, and on and on and on and on. And now all you have to do to cleanse yourself of your past sins politically, it seems like the waters at Lourdes, is just insult Trump or characterize his actions as reckless, illegal, etc. Now, for all I know, what John Bolton put in his book is absolutely true.
Sure.
I mean, it could be absolutely true. And it would say nothing positive about Donald Trump. So on that score, if he, from his own personal experience, does not want to vote for Donald Trump, I can't blame him.
Hold that thought.
Sorry.
Diesel Dave is in chat. How you doing, my friend?
Hey.
Hope you've been well, bud.
Hey.
I'm sorry, Scribbles.
No, I was just saying, and so if he wants to vote for Biden, more power to him. I don't care. Right. But it's sort of the observer quality of how the politics would have worked had it been somebody like, let's say Al Franken supported Donald Trump. Do you think Al Franken would have been left alone by his side of the aisle?
No, and see, to what you're saying there, though, I can also see that the same thing kind of happens if you become a Trump supporter. Mm-hmm. Suddenly your sins of being a liberal are gone too.
Or the virtues thereof are gone.
Right.
You become the villain. And so, yeah, John Bolton's willing to go up against Trump, and it's in anybody but Trump. So now a lot of his past actions, at least politically speaking, are effectively being forgiven, which, again, it's not John Bolton's fault. As far as I can tell, he's telling the truth as he knows it. How people react is beyond his control. It's just interesting to see how people are reacting to his sides changing as compared to any other situation previous.
I want to bring up our favorite friend from CNN.
He's a father, so he gets a little bit of a pass today, depending on what he was up to.
He doesn't get a pass. I did tell him Happy Father's Day,
even
though I give him shit. Because I saw some people, who was it? Elizabeth Warren said something nice about her dad, and Styx said something fucking ridiculous.
Styx?
Like Styx Hexenhammer.
Oh, Styx. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Look, if somebody's saying they love their dad or something, leave them the fuck alone. Go to a different post. It's not like it's the only thing they've ever posted. But yeah, so when he posted, Chris D'Elia posted that picture of the cake that they had for Father's Day. Well, happy Father's Day to you, sir. Angry Illinois, thank you. I've been drinking Bahama Mamas all day today. Might have only been 3 because I played Skyrim. Because I'm playing Skyrim. No, Chris D'Elia tweeted out or wrote an article today.
Okay.
Called "What's Donald Trump's Plan B?"
Well, you go down to Planned Parenthood and you ask for the. Oh, sorry.
I don't think he was talking hangers and vacuums. What? That's how we.
Is Plan B as far as like what? If he loses the election?
Well, with just 135 days until the 2020 election, it'll be here before you know it. Every Sunday, I outline the 5 big storylines you need to know to understand the upcoming week on the campaign trail, and they're ranked. So the number 1 story is the most important of the coming week.
According to Chris D'Elia. Yeah.
According to Chris D'Elia. Number 5 is the Senate landscape keeps getting worse for Republicans.
Okay.
And he highlights the race there in, where is it, Montana, where Senator Stephen Daines is taking on Governor Steve Bullock, and they've changed it from leans Republican to toss up over there on the Cook Political Report, which has become his Bible. He talks about it a lot now.
Okay.
Nobody uses 538 anymore. Cook is apparently the go-to right now.
Oh, is 538 on the outs?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But because, I mean, with everything going on, seeing polls shift away from Republicans is not that extraordinary right now.
I don't put much weight into any of the poll. And so, I and so many other people were convinced by the polls, the numbers, and everything that we were being told back in 2016. And it's not that I have an automatic disbelief over any poll that Trump is going down or losing or something. It's just that I don't trust any of the polling, period. Because I honestly don't believe much has been learned from 2016 on how to get an actual sense of the mood of the nation towards any one candidate.
Here's the thing about 2016 that we don't talk about that often. Clinton did win the popular vote. That is important when you're looking at the polls.
Sure.
The polls, the problem that they had in 2016 with the polls is they were looking at the national polls. They were looking at overall instead of, okay, how is this state actually looking? How is that state looking? So there was some value to them. It's just that because, she's winning the popular vote overall, she must win everything. And that's not how it works. Right now, like even the Fox poll is showing 50-38, Biden over Trump.
Well, here's the thing. And Harry Enton put this tweet out just a few minutes ago. For me personally, I think the president is in deep trouble because he's down 10, Biden's at 50% plus, and Biden is more trusted than Trump on both race relations and the coronavirus. And I tweeted back to him, I said, okay, at 50% plus based on what? What statement, what policy, what activity? Why is he up 50% plus from his basement? Or is it completely on the basis of nothing but negative press on Trump in the absence of Biden doing anything? I mean, in that environment, sure, Biden's going to look a hell of a lot better. When does Biden actually come out of his hole and start campaigning? That's where we're going to see what's really going to happen with this. I mean, it can still go Biden's way, don't get me wrong. But as far as the polls are concerned, I think they're operating on sand at this stage of the game.
You're getting ahead of us.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You didn't know you're getting ahead of us, but you're getting ahead of us.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Alexander says she won the popular vote because of fraud. I don't put much faith in that. No. She won the popular vote because of California and New York.
Yeah.
You don't need voter fraud if you win those overwhelmingly, as she did, to win the popular vote.
Yeah, population density alone will give you more votes, but not more electoral votes. That's why you can have these situations where you win the popular vote, but you lose the electoral vote, because getting everybody in New York to vote for you only counts for a set number of votes. So,
yeah, and then you look at places like where I live, Michigan. Donald Trump won by 10,000 votes here. Mm-hmm. That's not something you can hang your hat on going into the next election if you have any kind of real strife going on, as we do right now.
Yeah, Trump's not a set selection at this point. He could easily lose this if like you say, just a few thousand votes have to swing one way versus the other, and the whole thing comes apart. So he's in danger. Don't get me wrong, but but what we're being told at the moment. Anyway, I was getting ahead. I apologize.
Yep, we'll get to his plan B in just a little bit. Number 4 issue that you have to know about is SCOTUS Watch.
Okay.
2 big cases are coming up that pertain to Donald Trump, and both of them about his taxes.
Oh, right, the taxes. Okay.
The Supreme Court will decide whether or not he has to give his taxes to Congress and whether or not he has to give them to the Southern District of New York.
All right.
My guess is they'll probably say he has to give them to the Southern District of New York, but not to Congress.
What was the Southern District's claim again?
They're looking into financial issues with his dealings with Deutsche Bank. Okay,
so they have a legitimate investigative interest in it, whereas Congress is just doing a fishing.
Actually, they don't. It's also a fishing fishing attempt.
Do they have a warrant or an indictment for these things?
They've issued a subpoena.
A subpoena. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
if they have a legal subpoena, even if it is a fishing expedition, if they have a legitimate subpoena, technically, I suppose it's possible that, yeah, they could get it. But Congress, I don't know that Congress has, even with a subpoena, any kind of legitimate claim on that information.
Yeah, and when you can show that all they really are trying to do is get them because he wouldn't give them, that's not a reason for him to have to give them up.
Yeah,
so
because he's not legally required to give. It's a tradition that was started by, like, what, Eisenhower or something?
I don't.
Maybe it was later on in the scheme of things. Either way, it's not a law. You're not required by law to turn over your tax information when you're running for president. It's a courtesy, I guess. It's a I have nothing to hide kind of thing, but you're not required to. And there's Fourth Amendment rights still pertain to those things, unless somebody's got a subpoena or some kind of warrant. So,
sorry, hang on. I feel bad about this. I haven't talked about it publicly yet, but I had invited Becca to come on last night.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't on.
Oh.
And I forgot completely about it until I saw a message from her and like, oh my fucking God.
Oh no.
So she's going to be joining us next Saturday.
Okay.
She has her own show and everything now. I'd invited her to join us tonight, but she's going to do her show here shortly. So,
oh, no.
Becca, I am so very sorry. I really, really am.
Yeah. Have a good show, Becca. And thank you specifically so much for retweeting my TED Excellences as you do. I appreciate that.
Next up on our list here, Scribbles, coronavirus isn't done with us yet.
You don't say.
I feel like that one goes without saying.
But
the only thing there
doesn't think so.
The only thing there is how much more they can try to blame it on Trump and how much more people believe that. Because they're pushing a narrative right now that everything's going back up because of all of the opening and completely ignoring all the protests, which, by the way, coincide with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then be out, no protesting. We haven't seen any rise from that. It's just people having burgers. We'll see how much that plays. I don't know how much it will and how much it'll count in November.
How dare Trump have a rally during this pandemic?
Yes.
In other news, peaceful protests continue en masse in California and New York and Florida. Oh.
Hang on. Not just they continue en masse. You have an obligation to go to these things.
Oh, I've heard that too, yeah.
Remember, the racism in America is more pressing than coronavirus.
Right, yeah.
All right, number 2. Oh my God. Sorry, I've started yawning. The Berman debacle. Have you been keeping up with this?
Is there a first name to this?
What the hell is his first name? He's the Jeffrey Berman. He's the attorney for the Southern District of New York.
Yeah, no, I saw that this was happening. He was like, okay, and correct me, Trump was trying to fire him, but he wouldn't go, and then he went.
Well, it's so Attorney General Barr comes out with a statement saying that he has recommended somebody for the permanent position there because Jeffrey Berman was not picked by the president and then confirmed by Congress as is supposed to happen.
Okay.
Instead, he was the interim attorney for the Southern District of New York, and the court made him permanent.
Okay, so he was a placeholder, and then he was judicialed into the position rather than being appointed.
Yes.
Okay.
He was not put there the way that you're actually supposed to be.
Well, why though? I mean, why is that normal?
No.
Well, why did it happen? Do you know? I mean, maybe it's rhetorical, but why did that happen?
I haven't seen what caused that particular. I haven't dug into it at all.
Okay. All right.
But Attorney General Barr comes out with this statement saying that he has recommended somebody to Trump. Trump has nominated that person. And in the interim, this other guy's going to do it. And Jeffrey Berman has stepped down.
Okay.
To which Jeffrey Berman comes out and said, I didn't step down. I'm not leaving. Like, dude, they just fired you.
Mm-hmm.
He's only in place until the 3rd of July when the new interim attorney comes in. So it's,
Well, I read that, or at least the impression I got from the couple things I saw was that the theory was Trump was getting him fired because he was looking into Trump businesses or something.
Well, other than the Deutsche Bank angle, the only thing that I know that the Southern District of New York has really been digging into is actually Giuliani. They're the ones, the Southern District of New York. Do you remember the two Giuliani associates that got indicted?
Yes.
That was from the Southern District of New York.
Okay.
They're digging into Giuliani. They haven't been able to find anything on him really yet. At least that they haven't indicted anybody else or, came out and made any statements. But yeah, the theory is he's trying to get him fired because he's going after Trump related things. It's within their purview to do this. Now, the interesting part of this is that Lindsey Graham, it's his committee that they go before they ask the full Senate, what do you guys think? And Lindsey Graham has said he's going to apparently there's a agreement in the Senate that if the senators from the home state object to that nominee at all, then they're just gone.
Interesting. Okay,
and the two senators from New York are Kirsten Gillibrand and Chucky Schumer.
Oh.
So I don't know what's going to happen here. This has the potential to be interesting for policy wonks and political nerds like me. I don't think most people are going to give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just too much else going on in the world.
Well, but anything that could be perceived as a political win for Trump is a win they can't tolerate. So even if it seems minor, even if it's like page A17 below the fold, yeah, I mean, they'll oppose it. Or they'll find a way to try to get something out of it. So, and I wouldn't put the same thing past the Republicans if the situation were reversed. So it's just the way it is.
All right. And number one, does Trump have a plan B?
I don't know. Tell me.
President Trump has made no secret of the fact that he viewed Saturday's campaign rally in Tulsa as a jumpstart to his fading political fortunes. He hyped it up on Twitter. His campaign flew in elected officials and top surrogates from around the country. And then, well, it flopped. It didn't really flop.
No.
The rally itself was okay. His speech, I don't know if you watched it, Scribe.
It was. I heard bits and pieces and some of the most ridiculous things, and I was like, "Oh, dude, come on."
Some of it was really good.
Yeah,
like when he was going after the press for the way they reacted to the West Point speech. He did a great job. That's Trump at his absolute best. Just Trump being a showman. But then there's parts where he just meanders for half an hour. Yep. And you're like, why the fuck are we listening? Why were we here again?
Yeah.
And again, I said this last night, Scribbles. He needs to stop using the term unfair. The press is unfair to me.
Yeah, it sounds childish and petulant. Yep.
It sounds whiny. If you want to call them liars, because that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Call them liars.
And stick to the script. Don't wander off the path because that gets you in the most trouble. At this point, he really, I'm not trying to give him pointers to win or something, but just as sort of a regular political strategic advice, stay on script for a little while, huh?
But see, even with last night, they did it to him again because he makes a joke about telling his people to stop testing.
Right. And then
he told his people to stop testing. Like, that was clearly a joke.
That was an edict from the president, everyone.
But anyway, and then, well, it flopped. Saturday was dominated by news that 6 Trump staffers on the ground in Oklahoma had tested positive for COVID. The speech itself was long and all over the place, and it was delivered to a less full arena. And then he gives the headlines. He gives us 3 headlines, Scribbles. I'm going to give you a chance here. I want you to guess the 3 news organizations that he took headlines from.
CNN.
Yep.
Washington Post.
Yep.
New York Times.
Ding, 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 ding. Did you read this?
Nope.
That fucking predictable, right?
Well, yes. There he has a trinity of nemeses, and those are them.
6 staff and empty seats. How Trump's triumphant return to the campaign trail went from bad to worse, read CNN. Trump rally fizzles as attendance falls short of campaign expectations was the New York Times headline. And Trump rallies in red state America and faces a sea of empty blue states, blared the Washington Post. Now, you heard why this was empty, right?
Well, I assume there's two prevailing theories on this. One is that some people are still in lockdown and concerned about corona, but more, at least for the location itself, there were protesters and people blocking the way, blocking metal detectors, so people couldn't get in, and people were scared off or just not wanting to deal with the traffic and so on.
Oh,
so, yeah.
You haven't heard the other thing, have you?
Oh, I guess not. What is the other thing?
There was a campaign on TikTok.
Oh, that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there was a whole bunch of quote unquote trolling, false ticket requests, etc. from TikTok. And I asked the question on since we're not doing Lords of the Night, I can do fucketry anytime I want. I asked the question, and I wasn't being facetious because I was honestly curious what people thought. So that came up, and I asked, does that qualify as election interference? And I got the first major response I got was, not really. You could still go. This was trolling Trump. And I said, I'm just meaning the standard for what qualifies as interference was set so low by the media with the occurrence of tweets and Facebook posts in 2016. I would just assume that any online activity that has a manipulative effect on a political campaign would count.
It would.
And yeah, and that's sort of what I was curious about. Now, it's like, I don't really care one way or the other because I don't think the Facebook and tweets from 2016 had dick all to do with the outcome of the campaign.
Right.
I honestly don't believe that any TikTok trolling here will have any effect on Trump's fortunes in the long run at all.
No, if anything, that's going to fire up his base more. Well,
yeah, that's the other thing too, is that it's the Streisand effect in real time. It's like, oh, you're trying to stop this from happening. You don't want us to get to the truth, blah, blah, blah. There's no way Trump can't spin, or his people can't spin, any antagonistic action taken against the campaign into a campaign ad, into a fundraising effort. So
you have this because Ocasio-Cortez, she thanked the TikTokers and the K-pop fans specifically.
Is it K-pop that did this too?
Yeah. So you have TikTok, which is a Chinese company, and the K-pop fans, K-pop standing for Korea, jumping in here to affect this. And there's people like, oh, that didn't cause anything. The tickets didn't cost any money. People still could have gone. But when you've heard there've already been 1 million tickets requested, are you going to request one for a 19,000 seat arena?
Also, if the expectations of the turnout were based on the requests, and then you don't see that many people there, it's like, oh, well, it was an absolute failure.
Yep. And I think it was Jack Gunsky who said it. Said, yeah, congratulations, this is effectively the same as ordering pizzas to Trump's house.
Yeah.
Except it's even worse than that, because what you've just done is his arenas are going to be packed from now on.
Yep.
Even more. He's always been able to pull a crowd. So, yeah, you scared people off on the first round, and all you're going to do is, Jack says it wasn't him. Okay, I forget who said it. Whoever it was, congratulations, because it was well said. But, yeah, it was just weird to watch and to see the reaction. I don't think I've seen any of them talk about what he said in the speech, except for he told them not to test, which is actually not, he was joking.
Monkey.
Yeah.
I just figured it out.
Uh-oh.
TikTok's a Chinese company, right?
Yeah.
And the reverse psychology outcome of this is going to be that it's just going to bolster Trump's base.
Well, it will.
And didn't we just hear the other day that Trump was looking for assistance in the campaign from China?
Yes, we did.
Monkey. I may be the first one to say this, but I think
I see where you're going.
This is Trump's genius at work.
He did all this.
Okay. He instigated this, but he is being assisted by a foreign power. Monkey.
I get you. He instigated. The Chinese are the ones who did it for him.
Jerry Nadler, take notes. because on January 22nd, 2021, you got some work to do.
Okay, where were we? I can't find who it was that it was Frosted Glass. That's who it was. Frosted, not Jack. My mistake. I finally found the actual tweet. But yeah, it's the equivalent of ordering pizzas to his house. He faced a wave of blue seats. Yeah, because that's the color they are in the arena. It's not like people went in there and spray painted them, so he'd have to look at blue seats. In a red state, he had to look at blue seats. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, Dangerous. He meant Jerry Nadler. Jerry Nadler's the other one who's been up Trump's ass, and one of the ones Nadler was actually the one who was pushing for investigations even before Adam Schiff jumped on.
Yeah, that's why I brought up Nadler, because he was the first. I think his committee started the ball rolling long before it got to Schiff, and that's why I brought up Nadler.
Yeah, well, they're one is intelligent. No, yeah, one's intelligence and one is judicial, and Jerry is judicial.
Yeah,
so he still has fucking investigations going, just nobody gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Schiff is far more, I can't believe I'm saying this, photogenic than Nadler is.
Well, given
it's
that
true.
Oh no, I know. Given that Nadler looks like he's an escaped Oompa Loompa, yeah, it's true.
No.
Yeah, Schiff looks like $1 million compared to Nadler.
If you see Nadler standing up, he looks like in Weird Science
like when Chet
gets turned into shit.
Oh, God. When he's the shit monster.
Yeah.
The shape is similar. I will not deny.
It really is. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, go watch Weird Science. It's a great movie.
Mm-hmm. Even the TV show wasn't that bad.
I never saw the TV show.
Oh, Vanessa Angel. Oh my God, she was so hot. Oh God, yeah, she was. Ooh, that was something else back then. Yeah, but look up Vanessa Angel back in Weird Science days, guys. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Now, I'm not sure where I want to take this next one or how I want to start it, Scribbles.
Well, give me at least 1 second. I have to make a quick run and get a drink. I'll be right back.
Sure. Do you think? Poor Bill Paxton. It's one of his greater roles. He actually turned into a big lump of shit. You guys should watch it. I'm not kidding. And take a look at him in that next to a picture of Jerry Nadler. Nadler's sitting down. You don't see it as much when he's up there behind his podium. But when he's standing, oh dear God, it's Chet. So next, guys, we're going to talk about statues. And I'll catch Scribbles up here in a second. Because we had statues of Thomas Jefferson and George Washington taken down. And, John Oliver was out there showing how smart he is again. He, do you guys remember John Oliver when he was daring Trump to run? It's a really famous scene if you haven't seen it. Thinking he was just the funniest man ever, John Oliver was daring Donald Trump to run for president. I dare you to. And then Donald Trump ran and won, making Oliver look like a fucking moron. Now, I kind of agree with Steven Crowder here.
You do?
Yeah. John Oliver can be funny.
Sure.
It's the one thing I will give the man. He's still a fucking moron, though. He's a fucking idiot. And so it came out, the videos popped up where John Oliver, way back during the Ferguson riots. Well, it's not the Ferguson riots. It's after the Charlottesville. After Charlottesville.
All right.
Donald Trump is like, where does it end? Are they going to go after statues of Washington and Jefferson? Then it cuts back to John Oliver making fun of Donald Trump for suggesting that.
Yeah.
And then today, oops. Well, maybe not today. 2 days ago, 3 days ago now.
Well, hell, they're going after a Teddy Roosevelt statue now.
Well, that's the story. And not just the this isn't a statue in a park. This is a statue in a fucking museum. They want to get rid of it. Do you know why, Scribbles? Did you see the explanation?
No, but let me guess. It was something to do with Native Americans.
Kind of. Colonialism.
Oh, right. Did you know that, I learned what, just as a side note, I learned what colonialism in the classroom is yesterday in my TEDx talk.
I'm sorry, the what now?
Colonialism in the classroom. Have you heard of this?
No.
Oh, there are two elements that create colonialism in the classroom. Can you? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I got to take my medicine, so I'm sorry that this is going to be over you. So let me pour it real fast, and then. Okay. Colonialism in the classroom. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. Well, can you at least? I mean, I think at least one element's relatively easy to guess. Can you guess what the first element is of a colonial classroom?
Color.
Yeah. Of who?
The teacher.
Yes, you're right. Because teachers are in the majority straight, white, and teach through a Eurocentric perspective. Okay, so that's element one of a colonialized classroom. Now,
okay,
I'll bet you can't even guess what the second element is.
Second element.
Yeah.
I would. The only thing I would guess, I feel like you just hit on itself, would be the teaching methods.
Yeah, I know you'd be wrong. It's desk arrangement.
Oh my! I'm okay. I'm listening.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have desks, if you have seating, let's just say, I mean, you could have like one of those lecture halls where they're kind of fixed in place. But either way, if you have seating, which has the students directing their attention singularly to the teacher.
What?
That's it. That is the element that helps to create a colonialized classroom, because what you're saying then is that the students are simply an audience. They're simply bystanders. They are not actually participatory in their own education. They are simply there to listen and regurgitate, and that's it. And because of that, because of the superiority of the teacher at the front of the classroom, who's obviously white, it is a colonial classroom. Now, and I know this is a tangent, guys, but I just want to, because Monkey wasn't there last night for this. Now, Monkey, if I told you that those two okay.
Good night, baby. I love you. Okay, I'm sorry. Those two.
Okay. If I told you that those two elements combined create a colonial classroom.
Wait,
and then
no, back up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not ready for that yet.
Well, there's nothing else.
Where should they be facing?
Well, no. That was my next point. Okay, so if I told you that was the problem, okay, that a colonial classroom is the problem, and a colonial classroom is made up of two major elements, and if I told you I had a solution for this problem, logically speaking, within the universe in which this is a real problem, what solutions would you suggest, Monkey, to solve colonial classrooms element by element? Again, within the logic of this reality, what would the solutions be?
Now, if you tell me those are the problems, first thing I do is I get rid of the white teachers.
Okay.
You got to bring in teachers of color.
Yes. Okay. Sure. All right.
And then you have the desks situated in a circle around them with them teaching from the center. So not only are they facing the teacher, but they're facing each other.
All right. Now, you see, that sounds like, again, I want to predicate within the logic of this argument. That sounds like reasonable solutions to the problem as articulated, right?
Indeed.
Okay. Can you guess in a 14-minute presentation what the speaker suggested be done to solve the problem instead?
Given this is a TEDx?
Yes.
Just turn the desks around so they're facing the back wall?
No.
Get rid of teachers?
No.
More Capri Sun? I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm right there with you. I don't know either.
Oh.
She never addressed seat arrangement or teacher color. She addressed the teachers should sit with the students. Or the teacher should walk around and teach and engage the students personably. And I'm like, golly, those are great ideas. I've never experienced that before at any time in my education. It was the most brainless. I had such high hopes, just like with the one today. I'm not going to talk about today's. You got to go watch it yourself. But I had such high hopes because she started out actually articulating a problem, even though it was nonsense. I was like, okay, you articulated the problem. You've described the exact, elements of it. Now you're going to tell us how to solve it, right? Nope.
Chicago Mike, thank you. Ranting Monkey, how many times have you visited a class as a bystander? Well, I can actually answer that, at least mostly. For the entire first semester of my 8th grade year for one class period.
You were following a girl, weren't you?
No, I was a teacher's assistant in there.
Oh, well, I mean, you weren't a bystander. You were participating in that capacity.
No, I was only there to help the students if they needed it.
Well, yeah, but you weren't it wasn't like you were standing on the street and suddenly a classroom fell on you or something. You weren't a bystander. You were actively participating in the class. I wasn't
getting a grade and I wasn't learning from the teacher, so I consider that as a bystander.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Sorry, that was a complete tangent, but you just reminded me of that when you're talking about anyway.
Yeah, with the whole colonialism. They want to get rid of Teddy because he the Rough Riders and all that.
Yes.
He was a colonialist, you guys.
Yep.
And colonialism is bad.
Yes.
Cameron, thank you. I'm guessing that's Tim Pool, but it says Dim Tool covered the call to cancel Yale today. We can get into that again. We talked about it a little bit last night. Sirsha, thank you. My wife works with a woman who is Navajo. She just bought us hot fry bread. My wife can never quit this job. Happy Father's Day, dads.
Oh, hot fry bread is good.
Just brought us, not bought us. I've never had it.
It's good stuff. I had that before on I was on like a student trip or something, and it was to, I want to say it was like a Native American museum or something like that. And they had food there for it. And they said, this is Navajo hot fry bread. And I was like, okay. And I think I was like 12 or something. I just remember being really good. That's how good it was. I remember it. Yeah.
The only food that I remember that I haven't been able to have again is lumpia. Those little Filipinos make this wonderful little egg roll kind of thing. And it is so tasty, but I haven't had it since we left Virginia. Excuse me. So yeah, they're actually, I was talking the other night, I can't remember when exactly, but I don't really care about the statues coming down, Scribe. As long as they're not destroyed.
Yeah.
Put them in a museum kind of thing.
I mean, I think it accomplishes nothing.
Right.
It does nothing. It fixes none of the quote unquote problems that you're talking about. Destroying property as an expression of your anger just pisses off people who liked their little world the way it was visibly and didn't necessarily agree with the history. Like I bet you dollars of donuts, most people that live near those Confederate statues, they were so just part of the background that nobody ever really paid attention to them. Yeah, it wasn't like people were walking by every day bowing down to them and offering like sacrifices of like goat's blood or something, or chickens or whatever to the spirit of Robert E. Lee or something.
The last time we went through this just a couple of years ago, you had people, I walk by this statue every day, and every day it hurts me inside. Like, bullshit.
Psychic
You're full
powers.
of shit.
Yeah, the copper was into my brain.
Mighty Balzac, thank you. Rough Riders is not a steakhouse.
Oh, it should be, though, shouldn't it? Oh, wait, that'd be Colonial. Never mind.
Well, I'm thinking that's from Steakhouse or Gay Bar.
Oh, right. Yeah, no,
the
that
game
that's
Sinatra.
true.
I don't know if Sinatra still plays that or not.
I would assume they do. It's such an easy one.
Yeah, but you run out of names eventually.
They should take up Mad Libs.
Plus, Drunkle will cheat. Or was it one of those two cheated one time I was on there? You could hear him clicking in the back. You
right.
bastards are looking it up. How dare you?
Yeah, that's why Mad Libs are the best game, because there's no cheating involved.
It's all right. I get robbed every time I go on that show anyway. Let's see. What are you talking about? I'm look, if you want to tell me we shouldn't have a public statue out there honoring Robert E. Lee because he was a general for. There are people, oh, that's because he was in the Spanish-American War. Bullshit.
Yeah.
He's up there in his Confederate outfit. Don't tell me that's from the Spanish-American War.
Right.
If you don't want that publicly displayed, okay, I understand it. Don't destroy it. By all means, have it taken down properly and put into a museum somewhere where it can be looked at and you can learn about his life there.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have statues mostly to traitors to this country. I don't believe there's a Benedict Arnold statue. So I could be mistaken, but I don't know if there's one out there somewhere where people are like, oh, yes, Benedict Arnold was a great guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I at least understand that, but don't destroy him. And then when you're talking about going after Jefferson, they defaced the Lincoln fucking Memorial. They took down a statue of Grant.
Yeah.
No matter, you guys, when you're Juneteenth wouldn't be a thing without Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah.
He is the general who won the American Civil War. And we're going to take that down because he owned a slave once. Like, oh, fuck, you guys are retarded.
And he went after the KKK and all types of stuff that, now, was he the very modern model of a modern major general? No, he was from that time. But for crying out loud, as compared to Robert E. Lee, Jesus.
Oh, and yes, they did deface the Massachusetts 54th Memorial.
Right, with the Black Regiment, yeah.
Yeah, because they're fucking retarded.
Yeah, well,
they're just out to destroy right now. They have no concept of history. Scribbles, you know the chick who started the 1619 movement?
You mean the New York Times Project, the 1619 thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get their newsletter. There's a newsletter they got out there that at some point I signed up for. It's called Race/Related. And every week or so I get a post from them that just it is exactly as advertised. And I'm just like, okay. And they talk about the 1619 thing quite a bit. And then you look at the actual historians who took a look at what they were putting out there in this project, going like, yeah, no.
Right.
It's not that slavery didn't exist or anything, but you guys are putting so much historical weight on that one factor to explain everything that you're entering conspiracy theory territory real quick.
Well, yesterday on Twitter, she got into quite a bit of a scuffle because she actually said that saying that about Grant, that he's a man of his time, means nothing because Hitler was a man of his time too. I'm sorry, what? What did you just say, you crazy cunt?
Grant and Hitler on the same level, you say? Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, their actions are. However, this same fucking woman has said that Castro she's defended Castro as just a product of his time. Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
Castro. What does she think about Marx?
I don't know if I've seen her mention Marx anywhere.
Or Lenin.
Although, did you see the fucking BLM woman or
yes.
BLM?
Yeah, we talked about that last night where she's like, we're all trained Marxists. Like, yeah, well, if we didn't already have a notion of that.
Thank you, Professor Chaos. General Grant was offered command of the Union Army, but turned it down because he was loyal to Virginia. Had nothing to do with slavery. I believe you mean General Lee.
Yeah, General Lee was. Yeah, he was offered the Union, and he refused it.
Yeah, he fought for his state. Lee is, even though he was a slave owner, he was against slavery. If you read his writing, he did not believe in the war.
Yeah, he wanted to defend his home more than defend the policies of the Confederacy.
And Professor Cass, thank you. I meant General Lee. Sorry, Monk. No, I figured what you meant when I read it because I know my fucking history. Unlike these tards. Not you, Chaos, the ones burning down statues and shit.
Yeah, does that forgive Lee his betraying the nation? No, it doesn't. But I mean, you have to look at the individual, his actions, his words, his beliefs, and his first and foremost priority in joining the Confederacy was simply to defend his home, Virginia. And did that necessitate that he go along and effectively defend the policies and everything else of the country that he was fighting for? Yes. And how he felt about that, I'm not a historian. I don't know. I'm assuming that he was like grudgingly going along because he was more concerned about the safety of his family and friends. But
Stacy says to say Grant and Hitler were the same. Someone needs a lobotomy. I would say that shows they've had one. Lee. My problem with Lee is he still did take up arms against the United States.
Yes. At the end of the day, he still betrayed his nation.
Yeah. So if you read his writings, he actually wanted a peaceful end to slavery, and he thought that was going to come about through the church. And at the time, there was a move for that. So,
right.
But he still, I mean, he could have turned down the position for the Confederate Army. And
just abstained.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have just gone home and said, I'm going to stay at my home and I will defend my home if the soldiers come to my door, kind of thing. But otherwise, yeah, just stay out of it and not participate.
But yeah, so I can understand people saying they want to at least, get those out of the public square. But when you're talking about getting rid of the statues of Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, that good guy was moving up the chain. Like, I can't wait till they find they go down to, what was it, wherever Reagan's home is. I mean, we're moving up. We're moving up in history real quick here. We're at Theodore Roosevelt. So who's next in line? Eisenhower.
What about Hillary?
Does he have a statue yet?
No, but you can cancel her completely. Her mentor, she said, was Byrd.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mr. KKK.
Yeah, dude's a fucking.
Oh, and Biden and Strom Thurmond.
Oh, well, Biden and Byrd.
Yeah, Biden and Byrd as well. Yeah,
that was his colleague,
mentor. I think at some point. Did he ever call him his mentor? I might be mistaken.
I don't know. I know Hillary did. I don't know if Biden.
That's right. Hillary called Byrd her mentor. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Not JFK. Why? I mean, they could get JFK too. I mean, if you go back to Jackie Robinson did not like the Kennedys because he didn't think they were, or he thought they were too soft on civil rights.
Yeah, and Kennedy was also not a big fan of communism.
That's true as well. Cuban Missile Crisis, anyone?
Yeah.
And don't forget he was Catholic too, guys. They went after a fucking bishop statue.
Oh, yeah. No, and here's the thing. For all you can say about JFK, he and his ex-com team during the Cuban Missile Crisis, those guys saved the world. If you know the details behind what was going on at that time and the decisions made and back and forth and everything else, we were just a hair's breadth away from nuclear conflict, and those guys made it not happen. So yeah, JFK will always have a place in my heart for doing that in the history books. Other things, take it or leave it.
Professor Chaos, thank you. Her husband's mentor fought the Civil Rights Act. Who's Bill's
Byrd?
Mentor?
Her husband's mentor?
I don't know who his mentor was.
Yeah, I don't know who Bill's mentor was.
Yeah. Anyhow. I don't know. What else did I have to talk about this evening, Jack? I did call you Jack.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. I got you. It's fine.
Just force of habit.
Mm-hmm.
A new city commission on racial justice will be just like South Africa's famous Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Mayor de Blasio said.
And I tweeted about this because I had to look that up at one point. In an old video I did, I think it was one of the first ones I did about restorative justice.
Mm-hmm.
They brought up the Truth and Reconciliation thing, and I knew that it was the most premier sort of widespread example of restorative justice in practice. To try to come to terms with the end of apartheid and the aftermath thereof. And I remembered there was a quote from the article on the Truth and Reconciliation process that I just wanted to put out there. So I tweeted it out. Quote, "Most believe that justice was a prerequisite for reconciliation rather than an alternative to it, and that the TRC had been weighed in favor of the perpetrators of abuse. As in, reconciliation, the restorative justice part of the process, should not have replaced actual due process."
Yeah, there's if you know who Stephen Biko is, there was a movie called Cry Freedom with Denzel Washington.
Yes.
Stephen Biko's family is really not happy with what was done with that commission because all of the people who abused that man got away. Chicago Mike, thank you. Scribe, maybe, but Bay of Pigs was a big mistake by JFK.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Like I said, the only two things I can really hold, I should have mentioned the second thing. The only two things I can hold JFK on high for in the history books is A, Cuban Missile Crisis. And granted, it wasn't just JFK. There was a whole bunch of people there that did that. And their subsequent personal actions or policies thereafter, like McNamara. Again, this one incident, though, they hit all the marks correctly. And the other thing, of course, is instigating the moon landing.
I said his name and he pops up. Jack, my friend, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
I just called Scribbles Jack.
Yeah. Hi, Jack.
Wait, am I Scribe now? I got smarter.
This is going to confuse me. Evolved Potato, thank you. Not being American, I don't really know, but weren't the Confederates in the legal right? Technically, I would say yes.
Technically, yes.
It's more a guideline than a rule.
Yeah.
They should have been allowed to leave the Union if they wanted to. The attack on Fort Sumter might not have been a good idea, though.
That's the thing, too. Yeah, peaceful secession might be one thing, but it's like, let's go blow some shit up in the process. Yeah, no, that doesn't wash.
So, I mean, legally, they should have, and that actually led to the federal government becoming far more powerful than it is, and to the state where we are now.
Yep.
You know, I was thinking about this earlier, and I was listening to Jack. You were over on
Irate Prostate
Stream, and he'd asked you about Trump, and you were talking about how he's a showman, and he's just kind of funny. I really wish with Trump that people would realize, no matter what you think of Trump, good, bad, or otherwise, especially if you think he's bad, though, maybe it's time to reconsider all of the importance we put on this position, because that's never how it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't supposed to be the most powerful man in the world. We should be able to get away with one who's kind of a joke, because he signs important things now and then. He can send people to war, but otherwise we don't give a shit what he says or does. He's an ordinary citizen was the idea.
Yeah.
And when I heard you talking about that thought occurred to me. I'm like, especially right now, watching that speech he did last night, like where he threw the water, which was funny. It was a great moment. I'm like, that's what he should be. He should be kind of a doofus. I mean, when it comes to, foreign policy and everything, yeah, that needs to be on. That's what you have advisors for and stuff. But we put so much importance on the executive branch, man. Every time I turn around, I'm hearing about the Justice Department, and I'm hearing about what Trump is doing. I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be, y'all.
You know, it reminds me of. Did you ever hear the argument that John Adams made about how the president should be addressed?
I can't say if I did.
So he got up there at one point, and this is later on in his life, and he said his suggestions were His Highness the President of the United States and protector of their liberties. What was it? His Exalted Highness or His Elected Highness or whatever. And this was the reaction. I looked it up because I want to remind myself. This was the reaction by James Hudson, who was there at the time. He says, quote, "The most superlatively ridiculous thing I ever heard of," Thomas Jefferson exclaimed when he was informed in Paris in the summer of 1789 that a few months before a Senate committee had proposed that George Washington be called His Highness the President of the United States and protector of their liberties by John Adams.
Wow.
And I was like, even then they're like, no, this guy is not supposed to be the supreme leader, for God's sakes.
Well, again, if you go and look, Jefferson on his memorial, there were 3 things that he listed as the best or the greatest things he ever did, and being president is not one of them.
Right, yeah.
Drew, thank you so much. Fort Sumter, what to do with squatters who don't leave? I mean, I get you, but maybe attacking him wasn't the right idea. I don't know. I'm watching Chaz and going, maybe.
Yeah, that's hardly Fort Sumter, though.
I saw a great comparison, and the people doing it didn't even mean to make the comparison. Andy No went undercover in Chaz, and he wrote an article about it, which is actually not a very good article at all. It doesn't explain very much. It doesn't talk very much about what he saw specifically, but it was, after the lights go down, the place is a shithole, is basically what he says. And then this other guy goes, well, you're just full of shit. And he links a Rolling Stone article that says, Chaz is not what you've been told it is. And it's just a fluff piece about how great, Chaz, it's just a black party, you all. Yeah, except for that shooting the other night, right?
That was Proud Boys. I've been hearing that.
Oh,
That
for
was-
fuck's sake, really?
Wow.
They are so afraid of the Proud Boys and the phantom white supremacists that they think exist behind every shrub. That's all they talk about. Because I watch these stupid live streams at night, and they're always like, "Oh yeah, we're worried about Proud Boy infiltration." The Proud Boys aren't going to infiltrate you. Who fucking cares, stupid idiots?
They're not even around anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, after
They pretty much disband.
Yeah, did they get sued and a couple months of jail?
Yeah. They went to jail for kicking the shit out of that guy outside of the one speech that Gavin McInnes was giving.
Well, you do have to remember that these people think there are like millions of Klan members.
True.
And there's like 5,000 at best.
Speaking of the Proud Boys, though, did you guys see Yosef's tweet? He's like, you know what?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I could deal with the shit that's going on, but I decided to go camping instead. And he goes, I think I made the right choice. I'm like, you know what? You probably did.
Yeah, we went camping and got drunk, and it was like, that was a better choice. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, going camping can be really fun, and getting drunk can be really fun. So if you have two hobbies that you enjoy and you're not hurting anyone, go do them. But getting drunk out in the woods, that's how you go missing.
No, he looked relaxed, and it's good. Yosef, we've talked to him a couple of times on Lords of the Night. Really nice guy. And hey, Badger Man, how you doing? He said I needed to go drunk because I'm home because I'm monkey in the morning at 9 p.m. It's not 9 p.m. where you are. You go drunk because you're home. How dare you? See, 3 a.m. where he's at. Ha! Morning, bitch.
Badger was hating on pizza earlier, so I don't know if he can be trusted.
Who was hating on pizza?
Badger.
For what?
He's German. Because they wouldn't put like Wiener Schnitzel on it or something.
That was my thinking too.
Yeah, sauerkraut and Wiener Schnitzel. He wouldn't put it on his pizza, and he's just like, bastards.
3 a.m. is not morning. We say 3 in the morning. Thank you for playing. Weird German.
3 a.m. is not more. What is it? What is it in Germany then? I'm curious to know.
That's 3 in the Hitler.
Oh, that sounds gross. Actually, ugh.
That's part 3 of the invasion of Poland.
Badger says pizza doesn't taste good, and I will die on this hill. Don't pee on it next time.
You know what it is? I know exactly why he doesn't like pizza. He's still sore because Italy didn't stand up to the Americans like they should have. So he's still got like a
Mussolini thing.
Yeah, it's a Mussolini thing, really. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Good call.
Yeah. Hang it and beat it with a shoe. Maybe it'll taste better.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Just use a breadstick that looks like a shoe.
Oh, God. I didn't think we'd be going that place. Anyhow. You guys talk
we
for a
didn't
second.
say give it a shower.
He says, Scribe Light, that might be true, but I really love gelato, a.k.a. ice cream. No, gelato's not ice cream. I'm sorry. You weird European, I don't know. I just want to call him Euro trash right then. Gelato's ice cream. Whatever. What a commie.
Gelato. Yeah, right? You know who really liked gelato? Mussolini.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why do they call it gelato? Just have ice cream.
Yeah.
It's better that way. It's American. America, bitch.
No,
we invented
no.
everything. So
Keep says, yes, it is Scribe. It's got more flavor. No. Okay, look. There's French fries, and then you got freedom fries. Freedom fries are bullshit. French fries are French fries. Okay, ice cream is ice cream. You want to give it some fancy name to make it seem like, oh, I'm so elite and everything. No, it's ice cream. Okay, this is just the way it is.
It's kind of hard to dress up ice cream, like make it fancy.
Hey, now
it's already awesome. How do you make
there's
it
that
better?
too. There's that too. It's hard to gild the lily.
Right? Like cake has icing. Ice cream doesn't, and there's a reason.
Gelato is denser than ice cream. It's made differently. Yeah, it's not made with freedom.
Yeah, it's not ice cream.
Yeah, the flavor's already contained in ice cream, and to try it and mess it up, I mean, you're just messing with perfection there.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with. Don't put that Euro shit on our food.
Yeah. Real quick, let me grab a Streamlabs. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Now's a good time to let you know that this show is brought to you by you and our new sponsor, Bubba's Butter, a better butter brand. You can't have a better butter burger without Bubba's Better Butter brand. Come watch Becca Farrell on Johnny Bonsaco's channel after the show. Thank you, Mr. Scott. And sorry, Becca, if I butchered your last name. It's going to happen.
It's Fairly. Becca Fairly.
Fairly?
Fairly.
Fairly,
She's
yeah.
Fairly Becca. Fairly Becca.
Adam Driver's over party is trending again. Why this time?
I didn't know what happened the first time. Who cares? He's done. He's never going to be Kylo Ren again. Nobody gives a shit. Goodbye.
Well, last time it was because he was a soldier. Seriously, just a couple months ago, they were canceling him because he was a soldier. Caramon, thank you. Not made with freedom, laugh my ass off. It wasn't. And Piccolo, ice cream cake has icing on it. DQ for the win.
But he was a soldier before he was an actor, though, right?
But he's not apologetic about being a soldier.
Oh, was he in real life a soldier?
Yeah, no, he was in the military. I forget how long he went or how far he went, but he was in the military, and he has to apologize for that now.
He served in Afghanistan, didn't he?
What, really?
If you say so,
yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
Don't quote me on the Afghanistan part, but I'm almost positive of that. Yeah, and he's not apologetic, and he's
oh no,
he's a Marine. Yeah, I don't like him as an actor, but canceling him because he's proud of his service, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, whatever.
Like right in the ass.
I hope he doesn't capitulate. Or do something like halfway to say, like, my service was blah, 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 but I don't necessarily agree with where our country's going. And something like that. I hope he doesn't go that direction either.
Last time he didn't, and he just fucking ignored these people. I had invited Badger on the show, but he's going to bed, and I told him next time, and he said, if you have it in the real morning. It's morning where you are, Bloodhead.
Nah, whatever.
Cryptic, thank you. He was a Marine. Please don't call us soldiers.
Apologies.
Shut up, soldier. Jarhead.
Oh. Jarhead.
Yeah, that used to be a pejorative. I don't know if it still is considered one.
It's the name of a movie, so you could be talking about the movie.
But yeah, he was Marine. I apologize, Cryptic. He was Marine. I forgot the guy's name. I was going to talk about the comedian who's getting in trouble right now because he kept inviting young girls to his hotel. Anybody in chat know who I'm talking about? It's Chris something. Something that starts with an E.
Seems to happen a lot with.
You know what? Let me see. I bet I could find him on Google because of that. Let's see.
Chris. I don't know. Too common a name.
Oh,
Chris D'Elia?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it starts with a D.
Chris D'Elia. Really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with the guy, so I went and watched some of his stand-up. That dude's not funny.
Yeah.
But he's in trouble, because there's a lot of people coming out with texts that he sent them.
Oh.
Several of them when they were 16.
Oh.
And they've saved them, and they all have numbers that trace back to him.
Oh, no.
Now, there's ones where they were 18, and they're like, he said dirty stuff to them. Like, they were 18. I have no problem with that. It was weird because he's like 40 now, and this was only a couple of years ago, so he's in late 30s when he's doing it.
Yeah.
And he's doing it out of the blue because he'd see like an Instagram photo of him and be like, ooh, I want to poke her.
Uh-huh.
And in one of these instances, he supposedly kept asking this girl, because he asked her to blow him. And she's like, sure, I don't want a relationship, but yeah, I'll do it. And this went on for a couple of months where he kept, asking her. And eventually he sends her a text out of the blue one day saying, I want you to blow a friend of mine. Cryptic, thank you. Call us jarheads all you want, just not a soldier. Fair enough, sir. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, so this is going on. That's blowing up. Apparently 4 YouTubers have been accused of sexual assault or harassment in the last few hours?
Yeah, there was. I saw something that said a couple of Twitch streamers and a couple of YouTubers, or maybe they're the same at the same time, were accused of. I don't know who or what the circumstances were.
Y'all don't know how to use your dicks right, man. How you keep getting in trouble for this? This is 2020, right?
Yeah. Well, I think using their dicks is how they got into this problem.
I feel like here comes the hashtag Me Too. It seems to be. It's going to land squarely on some YouTubers. I didn't see all the names of the YouTubers. I did see that Keemstar tweeted out 4 of them have been accused. Plus, he has these other stories. How am I going to do it? Do more than one show a week, you lazy prick.
You could have the YouTuber sexual assault special.
Right. Just like, damn, man, y'all. There's plenty of women. Like that one woman, she was willing to blow him. Just go fuck her real fast. Why you keep hitting on other girls? The 2 of the girls, there was a weird part with that Chris. What's his name? Chris? D'Elia. Where the girls said that the 2 underage ones showed their moms the tweets or the text back and forth with him. And they were like, oh my God, that's creepy. Stop talking to him. I'd have been like, 911, I need you to go talk to someone.
Yeah, well, I think too many people let this stuff go as a joke. And it's if he's grooming them, it's pretty serious. He's probably not doing it to just them.
Yeah, he's come out and apologized.
Oh, that'll change things.
He should. Now he realizes he shouldn't have been using his influence that way. I'm like, but you thought it was okay then?
Apparently.
At 36 or so, you thought it was okay to be hitting up a 16-year-old who had commented on one of your posts and start having sexual conversations with her?
Wow. Real fast, on a totally different note, thank you, Pink Collar, for the donation. Blind Press just dropped her eye down the drain. Didn't tell me yet, but she already made a TikTok about it. Fucking women. Thanks, Pink Collar.
TikTok is cancer, man. Cancel that shit. Guys, good time to remind you we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, hit the share button, throw money at my man Jack because he's good people. I tell you to throw to Scribbles, but you can only do that when he's live. So
That's true.
So next time he's live, throw money at him. Gulf City's Peterbilt says it depends on the state, monkey. Look, I don't care if I live in a state where it's legal for a 16-year-old to consent to sex with an adult. If my 16-year-old daughter tells me there's a 36-year-old man sending her disturbingly sexual texts, I'm going to beat the fuck out of that guy.
Yeah, there's a common misunderstanding. Age of consent does not necessarily mean that you're off the hook for touching their no-no squares. If they're 16, they're still minors. So if he's sending them dirty texts, you can report them to CPS or your local version of that, and they will open a file and say, hey, this guy might be something. And if there's enough files open on this guy for individual cases, it can show a pattern of behavior. So if he did do something to somebody that was under legal consent or still minor but in a different jurisdiction that would prosecute that, then they'll take all these cases and say, hey, look, this guy's got a pattern of behavior. This is a serial predator, along those lines. So nothing may happen from your individual case, but it can lead to somebody else who is victimized getting justice in a much better way.
Not to mention with when you're doing it over text, you're inviting the feds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If your 16-year-old, even in a state where 16 is consent, is getting shit from a 36-year-old, call the FBI.
And even worse, you're trying to summon Chris Hansen.
Indeed.
And that shit will be everywhere forever.
Thank you. This is Kyle. Isn't an apology basically an admittance of guilt? In this case, I would say yes, but in most cases that we've seen, I wouldn't, like in the Louis C.K. thing, I wouldn't say it was so much an admission of guilt as it was a get these bitches off of me.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you leave your confession of wrongdoing open-ended, you're not only opening yourself up to having to essentially admit or having no defense against any further accusations, but if you also don't get specific about it, then yeah, you kind of are confessing and admitting guilt. I mean, at least in the public square.
Yeah. I mean, it could definitely sound that way. It certainly does here.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, Atheist Icon. I was at the beach earlier today, and I liberated this from a family playing in the ocean. My daughter kept them occupied. Did you strap a fake shark fin to your daughter? And be like, here, go pretend you're a shark and scare these people. But thank you.
Serial predator. I just pictured the predator mashed up with the leprechaun from Lucky Charms. How dare you, sir? Isn't his name Lucky?
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew he had an actual name too. All right, what else we got on the docket tonight, guys? We did that. Oh, that's weird. The Hill took down their tweet about Bolton's backing Biden. Huh. I wonder if that got corrected. I suppose I should talk about this Amy thing. Amy Siskind, you guys know her. Yeah, love her. The forgotten Krasenstein sister. She puts the box in boxed wine, y'all. She tweeted this out. I remember when the Supreme Court invalidated parts of the Voting Rights Act based on the fallacy the legislative branch would fix things that needed to be addressed. Obviously, that was a lie, but this is 2020. We have a chance to retake the White House, Senate, and House and fix this. The Supreme Court does not shut down any law based on thinking one day Congress will fix this.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot it down based on it's Congress's job to fix this. Whether they do or not, that's not up to us. Is this law legal? Yes or no? Now, they may have said in there, we hope one day Congress will do this. But if your only argument is that Congress hasn't fixed it, then you don't really have an argument about the Supreme Court and what they did there. I hate that people don't understand how this shit works, especially drunk wine moms with 100,000 followers who say stupid shit to their moronic wine mom friends. And I like the notion that the Democrats are going to take over all power. It's actually a possibility this time, you guys. It is entirely possible the Democrats could win the White House, the Senate, and the House. And it's entirely possible that they won't fix a fucking thing, just like they didn't in 2008 when they actually had, for 2009, for at least 10 months in 2009, had a supermajority in the Senate. They literally could have done whatever they wanted. That's why it's so funny when they tell me now, Donald Trump has not fixed the problem with police violence. Like, Miss Pelosi, you ran the House back in 2009. It's not like I've seen all this. It's all historical. That's why we have to do it. There's so much historical violence. Why didn't you give a shit then? The press doesn't point that shit out, though. I really hate our press. They're a bunch of lying little jackasses. Pelosi is going to ban this now. I keep trying to get her attention. She will not talk to me. I want to interview her on the show.
That'd be something.
Yeah, I want to ask her about her favorite ice cream and if it's token Negro.
Ask her how long it takes to wash out her crevices because she's very wrinkly.
Do you carry 10 stones around? Is that why your back hurts? I don't get the reference. And
that was the TEDx I watched today.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's oh boy, those 10 stones, right, guys? Yeah, that whole metaphor really paid off by the end of the talk, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was still sleeping when you did that one today.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Scribe, having a metaphor is a colonized way of thinking, and they were just decolonizing it.
So I'm told.
The other one that I had here was Muhammad Ali's son. He made some news because he said that the Black Lives Matter movement is just a racist scheme.
What?
He's not wrong.
He's really not. Do you remember when Black Lives Matter got sued and it was decided by the courts that they couldn't be sued because they weren't an organization? Because they're really not. You can't be held responsible for these people over here because it's not actually a big organization. It's not like the Proud Boys where you can sue them. If you look, most of the people who are telling you to donate right now to different causes, they don't say donate to Black Lives Matter. It's Black Lives Matter causes or charities, or because there's not an actual Black Lives Matter to donate it to.
Yeah.
And millions and millions and millions of dollars are being donated to things like Sean King.
Well, one of those ones that the celebrities were pointing to goes to a 501c3 that supports the Democratic Party.
Yeah, supports Joe Biden directly.
Yeah. So you got to be careful and do your research before you donate money anytime, but this is just shameless.
Well, much like I need to be talking like this so Susan hears this and thinks I'm a black man and maybe it'll put me back in the algorithm. I'm going to start my own BLM charity. Don't worry, guys. It's just all going to me.
Yeah. I remember there's this guy with a monkey avatar who just started doing a deep Barry White voice. And
remember, guys,
yeah,
you could donate to Monkey Could Be Black Foundation.
No. It's BLM, Big Lies Monkey.
Oh,
big lying monkey. That's the BLM. You're donating to BLM. Big lying
no, excuse me.
Yeah.
Not lying.
Oh.
LARPing.
Oh, sorry. Big LARPing monkey.
Big LARPing monkey.
Eric, thank you.
Bad.
Thank you. Bureau of Land Management money. Yeah.
Bureau of Land.
Thank you, Okie Native. This is going to be Father's Day steak, but I couldn't convince the kids I needed to go out for smokes, so I need a celebration steak anymore. Thank you, Okie. Wow.
Yeah, so remember, guys, the Ranting Monkey's going to keep it for himself foundation is open. You can donate to that if you would like to. Broken LARPing monkey. I like that as well. Yeah, did you see that? The scribbles that apparently the algorithm is partially race-based? Scribbles.
Sorry, what?
So did you see that the algorithm is partially race-based here on YouTube?
Oh, I couldn't possibly be more surprised.
I keep telling Satsu he needs to play up the blackness more.
You mean aside from his avatar and his face?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because he doesn't make it an issue, and I'm like, dude, make it an issue.
Oh,
you will go viral. You will be the black man on YouTube.
Yeah, there's such a shortage of those.
Yeah, but that's been reported recently, guys. Jesus, man.
Well, I think you're going to have to reformat Lords of the Night a little bit to have 2 minutes of blackness with Satsu.
You can have a moment of blackness instead of a moment of silence.
Yeah, it's going to be, reparations for the colonialism of your ancestors or some shit.
No, it's the colonialism of Grid's desk assignment.
Oh, yeah, there you
go. Phil DeFranco's coming out to talk about The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, boy, I'm waiting with bated breath for his opinion on the whole fracas.
This is what he says, quote, The Last of Us Part 2 is everything you'd ever hope for and more, 10/10, end quote. Dudes who love killing dogs in video games magazine. He's...
Wow. Okay.
Such a hot take.
Yeah, dogs are never an enemy of any kind in any video game ever, guys. But Last of Us 2
I
makes you
have
horrible
killed
person.
a fuck ton of dogs lately because I've been playing Fallout 4.
Yeah, the rad dogs or the wild dogs or whatever. You got wolves in games. What? Come on, dude. Whatever.
That's dumb.
That's not even. I mean, if you're gonna like make fun of The Last of Us 2, there's plenty of stuff to make fun of. But really, you're going to dog kill shame anybody who likes that game? Come on.
Yeah, if you guys are going to play that game and you don't want spoilers, you're going to want to turn away. I will give you a count of 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I don't care about this game. But I did go and watch the sex scene, and Scribe can back me up on this. Afterwards, I'm talking to him and Satsu. And like, the only thing I thought, like, why does this woman have such big shoulders? Do they all have big shoulders?
Was there a big floppy penis in there?
Yeah. Apparently the sex scene is actually a trans sex scene. I did not know that.
Oh.
Which, by the way, he didn't even spit on it. Dude, have some kind of respect. He just went in dry. Yeah, I thought it was just like painful for her because, maybe she was still dry and he shoves it in. No, like, all right. And you know what? I have to admit, computer graphics have come a long way because you can see the pain on the face as it's going in dry. I was just like, wait. Not only did they make Ellie a lesbian, which I don't care about. Fuck it. Have your lesbian little thing. But they threw a tranny sex scene in it.
That's very woke.
No shit. That's the wokest game ever. That's why it's got 10 out of 10 from like every video game journalist on the planet. None of them want to come out and go, yeah, this game sucks, or there were things I didn't like. Even they won't even give it an 8 out of 10. They're all like, no, the best game ever.
Those dogs weren't even dogs. They were dog identifying humans. They were dogkins, and they just had the big poofy tails and whatnot.
Well, that makes you anti-furry, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm lots of things. I'm very complicated.
Yeah. All right.
I don't understand why that's needed in the game. And look, I've played other games where there's sex scenes, but for the most part, it's off screen. No, you
fade to black mostly, unless it's The Witcher or something.
Yeah, you don't see her face as he's going in dry in her ass. She isn't the trans one, allegedly. Somebody is, because that did not look, fun. And she got some shoulders like Serena Williams, which is actually what I said. I said she's got shoulders like Serena Williams. And I think it was you, Scribe, that she's trans. I'm like, oh, well, that changes it a little bit. The shoulders make sense. But I don't understand why you need that in a video game. Now, I'm not saying you don't need it in a video game. If you want to throw it in there, that's fine. If it actually goes with the story and stuff. But do you guys even know the story of The Last of Us 2?
No.
I had Satsu give me a break. I haven't played the first game at all. I know very little about it, but I asked Satsu because I was like, the biggest complaint I'm hearing is not so much about the graphics or the gameplay or anything. It's that the story is depressing. The characters are unlikable, and the characters' actions run counter to how they were established in the first game. And so I asked Satsu, I said, does that ring true to you from what you played so far? And he said, not really. And then he gave me, I'm not going to say it here because it gives spoilers. He asked me ahead of it, you're not going to play this game. And I was like, no. And so he gave me the whole rundown of what's gone on in the story, like compared to what happened at the end of the first game and how that continues on to this. And again, not having played it myself, his explanation of the character's actions from his summary, it sounded dramatically, if overwrought, let's say, and maybe a little full of itself, it made some sense on a moral level, kind of. Again, not playing the game. I try to roll it around my head a little bit. It was like, so this person did this thing because that person did that thing, and now they're confronted with this choice, and they go this direction because of X. And I'm like, okay. So that's as close as I've gotten to it. And in that sense, I'm like, okay, well, if Satsu is like a big lore freak, he played through the first game 4 times. He knows what he's talking about. If he says that it all makes sense, it's not the greatest game in the world, but it's not terrible either. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I've told people I'm going to trust Satsu's opinion on this. I know he loved the first game.
Yeah.
Which also means that if this game was shit, he would probably be one of the biggest critics. Because if you love a game and you go into the next one and it's garbage, you're like, what the fuck did they do to my game?
Yeah.
I've just seen way too many people that haven't even played it at all. They're like, this game is garbage. If you haven't played it, I saw one guy said, I know the story and I've seen a little bit of gameplay. That's enough for me to say it's garbage. I'm like, no, it's not. You can say the story's garbage, absolutely. If you've watched, people play the story and stuff, but if you haven't actually played it yourself, you can't say the gameplay's garbage. Sorry, you can't, because you don't know how it plays. You know how it plays with somebody else at the helm. And I've seen some people play some really shitty games that are like, you're playing that wrong.
So are there plant people zombies in this or not?
I don't believe so.
That's dumb then. Because
I think that's more of your Resident Evil.
Well, no, that was the entire premise of the first game was giant fungus plant zombie things.
Oh, then maybe there is. I honestly don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I don't really care about a lot of this dumb bullshit. People are getting caught up on a bunch of little stuff. I think the game looks stupid. And if they have to sell it to you through sex scene and gayness, it's probably not a very good game.
Well, see, that was kind of the point I was getting at. I don't know shit about this game. I know 3 things about this game. I know Ellie's gay because that's just been beat in our head for the last year. I know there's this weird sex scene. And then I know a rumor about what happens at the end, which I'm not going to say in case it's actually true.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know about this game, which I believe is what a lot of people that I've seen online know about this game. And yet they're going out there and just utterly trashing it. You can say I don't want to play it because of the things I know, but I fucking hate this about gamers. They'll get into this and like, this game sucks. Have you played it? No, I watched somebody else play it. Then shut the fuck up. You don't get to say it's a horrible game if you didn't play it. You can say it didn't look good. You can say the story sucked, but don't tell me it was a horrible game. I played a lot of games where the story sucked and the game itself was fun.
Yeah.
So I get annoyed with gamers with that shit because they're a little too tribalistic. The tribe has spoken. This is what we must say. I don't give a shit about The Last of Us 2. I do think they probably played up the wokeness a little bit, a lot. And that's not why I don't want to play. It's just, I don't have any interest in it. There's nothing about it that says, monkey, this looks interesting. Go play it. The graphics look amazing, actually. But it's like, I just don't care. Some retailers won't accept returns for The Last of Us 2. Thank you, Caramon. It's always amazing to me when people are shocked that retailers won't take a game back. Once that game is open, most games retailers can't take back legally.
Yeah,
you can return an unopened game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I have no interest in the game. I didn't play the first one that much. I played it for like 20 minutes and then watched a buddy of mine play it. I was like, it's okay. But yeah, I'm not sold on it. They marketed it the same way they marketed like Ghostbusters 2016 with the girl power rah rah rah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same type of marketing. Like, oh look, it's woke, it's gay, there's sex. That didn't tell me a damn thing about this game. So no interest.
You don't even get to play the sex scene. It's not like push A to spit on it.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was like a quick time event?
Yeah.
And you fail? Like what happens then?
You got to line it up and you miss.
You hear this popping sound. Oh, no.
Instead, you break your dick. Yeah.
Oh, no.
You don't hit the button in time and you just spray all over her stomach or something.
Oh.
Yeah. If they're going to do something like that, at least then it would be a game.
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
Caramon, thank you. Meant to say trade-ins. I can see that too. I mean, if there's no market for it. But, for real, maybe Satsu actually likes the game. He's a grown-ass man. Who knows what he likes? I I've never known Satsu to be shy about a game he did not like.
Yeah.
And I've never known him to have rose-colored glasses. Even talk to him about 7 Days to Die. You've seen how much me and him have played the fuck out of that game. And he'll tell you, he talks about this. People will ask him, is it a good game? And he'll tell them no. But you should still play it because it's a lot of fun. And it's not a good game. It's getting there, but it's not a good game. It's just a fun game. It's not the kind of game that you're like, oh my God, this was mind-blowing. You should play it. It's just like, this is a lot of fun. It's addictive as hell. You're going to run into bugs and it's ugly at times, like really ugly at times.
Well, see, that's kind of my problem with modern games, though, is they release unfinished products.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then they try and fix them later. Like Destiny, I heard that with, and that No Man's Sky.
In fairness to the guys over at the Fun Pimps who make 7 Days to Die, they haven't officially released this game yet. It's still technically in beta, which is weird because they have sold it commercially for consoles, not just on Steam where you buy early access stuff. Technically, it's still in alpha, so it's not technically released yet. Technically. I'm using air quotes. But I get what you're saying. And thank you, Cryptic. I love you, Colonel Sanders. A finger-licking good dating simulator is free on Steam. Go grab a copy. And I don't know why that sentence was censored on Super Chat. Probably for finger-licking.
They censor the weirdest shit.
They really do. They really do. What time is it? Oh, we've been going almost 2 hours.
Yep.
So we'll wrap up. I need something fun to wrap up on. I don't have anything fun.
Now that Philly D came out with his analysis, how long before Matt Jarbo comes out with his latest hot take on it?
Oh, I bet he's fapping to it right now.
He's got 3 or 4 videos out already as we speak, I figure.
I don't know. I haven't been over to his channel in forever. Not since he was trying to start shit. Evolved Potato, thank you so much. Let me go. I gotta get here and then pop back up here. According to Satsu, the gameplay and mechanics are the same from the first one. I thought those were shit, so I assume this one is. But I don't go around saying how shit it is because I haven't played it yet. Fair enough. And if you didn't like the ones from the first one, and Satsu has said many times he liked it, so he understands why people who don't would have an issue. But again, if you haven't played it, how do you know? Oh. No, apparently Matt's turned his channel into like an unsolved mysteries channel.
Oh, that's right. He started doing true crime stuff for some reason or another. Yeah. I saw that.
I did not know that. Like I said, I haven't been over here in a while.
That is a stuffed market, man. But I mean, if you can get it to work, there's a couple great channels I'd recommend for anybody who's into true crime. First off, Jim Can't Swim. It's one of the few things that I've actually subscribed to on Patreon because the guy does great work and it's only $1 a month, and you get access to his entire library, which is some really good stuff. There's a channel called Brief Case where the guy goes over usually like very antique crimes from like the 1800s and stuff, but he does modern stuff too, but he keeps it, as the title suggests, brief. And then there's That Chapter. That Chapter does a really great, the host, Mike, he's Irish, he's great. He keeps things relatively light, even though he's talking about some really dark stuff, obviously. And those are my 3 currently favorite true crime channels.
Yeah, I'd add Criminally Listed. And
that guy's pretty good. His voice can sometimes get a little
annoying.
Monotone and a little bit. Sometimes the pronunciation of words makes me go, ugh, but otherwise, he does good stuff too.
I'm pretty sure he's like a Canadian autist or something. I know he's Canadian, but it's Scary Mysteries. If you've never seen him, he covers some really cool, weird stuff. Real brief though. I think that is a flooded market, and you did list some really good channels. But I think Matt's just trend hopping.
You really have to have a good hook in your presentation of the information. Anybody can give you the story of the case or whatever, but if you, as the host, or you don't have some kind of either depth of knowledge and research or a really engaging attitude, like Mike on That Chapter, he has a really engaging attitude and his narration and his treatment of the material makes it feel digestible and relatable. And the briefcase guy, he just like very good research, very depth of knowledge. So it's not so much that you're talking about true crime. You really have to have a personality to go behind it that engages with people.
Thank you so much, Oki, who says, we need more pizza, man. Well, give me more money. I'll buy a pizza. And I'm noticing over here, Matt has turned off his likes and dislikes.
Oh. Okay.
You know, he's doing true crime all kinds of wrong. He's trying to do it like you would do the other video. He's doing like a video a day or two a day.
Ooh,
there's no way you're going to have enough of the information.
Well, I mean, unless he's doing the research for these videos like weeks in advance and gets everything laid out, because really it comes down to, can you deliver any richer narration of what happened outside of just reading it off of Wikipedia? Because if you're not like finding news clips and trying to associate things, you're really, it's not something people are going to pay attention to who are really into this true crime stuff.
Okie, thank you. Says it was a jab at Jack. That's $4. One more, I can get myself a Little Caesars.
Oh, Little Caesars. I haven't had that in forever.
Yeah. Why do you want to punish your intestines?
Yeah, it's made of grease.
Wait, what do you mean punish your intestines? I love Taco Bell.
Oh, man, no wonder you fall down the stairs. That's your insides trying to stop you.
Oh, man. And with that, guys, we are at the 2-hour mark. I am going to wrap up. I will probably be doing a game stream if the internet holds up here shortly. Going back to Far Harbor out there in Fallout 4, see what's up with the rest of that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are very, very kind, and I really do appreciate it. Scribbles, anything you want to pip out?
Well, like I previewed to those who are watching the TEDx today, I'm actually working on, God forbid, an actual scripted video.
Oh.
I recorded the audio. I got to get that edited and then put everything together. But I'm hoping to have that out. If I get really ambitious, maybe tomorrow, but possibly more likely than Tuesday. So we'll see. After that, I have a whole ton of TEDx's ready to go. So whenever I feel the urge, just keep an eye out on my Twitter. And we'll have fun as I continue to search for a quality TEDx. Oh, the pain.
Caramon, thank you, says pizza. And over on the Streamlabs, thank you. Of All Potato said, here, now get some Domino's. It's better. There's no Domino's around here. Even if it was better, I couldn't get it. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll throw a link to one of my latest videos in. And if you haven't seen the interview I did over on our Rate Prostate's channel, go check it out. That was earlier today. And thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome.
I will be somewhere eventually. Follow me on the Twitter to find out when and where, because even I don't fucking know. We will be back for Lords of the Night tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Satsu 2 Senses channel, so check that out. Otherwise, guys, that's all I really got for the evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Scribbles, Jack, a pleasure as always, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, enjoy your night. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
It's time for me to sing about my day.